Benedetto here at Cantine Field, getting ready for the Glens Falls Dragons against the Saugerties Stallions here on a Saturday night. AJ, should be a good one here from Cantine. The Stallions have hosted the Glens Falls Dragons once this season, beating them 8-1. So what do you expect in this matchup here tonight?
We see a struggling Glens Falls team going 2-8-1. And actually resulting in a tie last night. The same result as the Stallions had last night as well, except Glens Falls was 6-6, and ours was double that, going 12-12.
You're right, and let me tell you a funny story about that tie last night for Glens Falls. So in the bottom of the ninth for Utica, they hit a game-winning home run, but Glens Falls said, well, your runner didn't touch third base. They wanted to go and review the footage, but, of course, the stream being behind a paywall, they couldn't go and do that, so they just decided this game is a tie 6-6 over there in Utica. Why don't we go and take a look now at how the Stallions fared last night up in Albany in this one.
Taking it to the 10th, a runner on second base. Due to the time and UAlbany not having any lights, we started with a man on second. Now the man gets to third, and Speranza sees a little bit of trouble, only with one out, but Speranza doing Speranza things and striking out the next two, resulting in a tie, the best case scenario for the Stallions.
Yeah, they couldn't have won that one in the bottom of the 10th. Why don't we look at how the Stallions have fared in their last three? It's been a little bit of a mixed bag, a win, a loss, and a tie.
Checking it last night, Saugerties ties 12-12 against Albany. We take it to June 12th on a 7-1 win against Oneonta. Then June 11th on a loss 5-4 to Utica. So a little bit of a rough stretch for Saugerties these past three games, looking to get it back against Glens Falls now.
And now, funny enough, Glens Falls has the exact same record in the last three. You wouldn't think so. They're also 1-1 in their last three.
So now, Dan, what did Glens Falls do these past three?
Yeah, so it's been a mixed bag for them. They notched a 7-0 win against Albany up on June 10th, and then the last two games, one loss, and then a tie, like we said yesterday, against Utica. So this team, while the record might deter them a little bit, you might not think that they're doing so great, they're actually more than capable to keep up with the best. The Stallions only tying Albany, and Glens Falls beat them 7-0.
Now, Dan, let's take it to the man of the hour, Ethan Conrad.
Who else, right? I mean, it's been the Ethan Conrad show. He leads the PGCBL in average. He also leads the PGCBL in RBIs and home runs. AJ, why has he been so effective?
Checking in at his inner stats, the man is batting a .467, the best batting average in the PGCBL so far. On top of that, he's adding 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. He's on the base constantly. Loves to hit the ball, loves to run, get the score in, and he does a job.
Well, it makes sense why he's committed to Wake Forest, right? And this is a guy that had offers from Arkansas, Vanderbilt, and Wake. Ended up choosing Wake a couple of days ago through the Pac Hub transfer portal, our sponsor for the pregame show. And AJ, this guy, I think, another home run tonight maybe?
Definitely a possibility, but there's one thing you can guarantee. He's going to try his best to get on base.
He did just that in the last game, going 3 for 5. Also had 2 RBIs and 2 stolen bases. So a speed threat and a guy that can just do a job out there at the plate. When we come back, first pitch here from Cantine Field. We hope you enjoyed the Pac Hub pregame show. Dan Shalman, AJ DeBenedetto will be on the call when we come back. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here for Saturday Night Baseball at Cantine Field. And AJ, we mentioned it on the pregame, a beautiful night here in Saugerties for some baseball as the Stallions search for their 9th win of the season.
A beautiful night here in Cantine Field. It's going to be a good matchup. Both teams looking back to get on track. Both having a rough 3-game stretch, looking right back to get on track. And the Stallions looking back to do the Stallion things the first 7 games, starting off 7-0.
Yeah, they went 7-0. Since then, in their last 10, it's been a little bit of a struggle going 7-2-1. The tie coming yesterday against Albany. Why don't we take a look at the starting batting order here for Glens Falls that pitcher Mason Compton is going to be facing tonight. It's going to be Cody Meyer, the center fielder, in the leadoff, then Justin Gouveia out and left. James Ward, the right fielder, batting 3. Odilio Cespedes batting 214 in the cleanup spot. Jack Griffin, then it's Christian Knight. Kyle Wu, the second baseman, who's batting 263. Then it's Caden Bernardo in the 8-hole. Zoen Collins, the extra hitter, and Christian Mott, the shortstop, batting 10th. AJ, what should we know about starting pitcher Mason Compton for the Stallions tonight?
Mason Compton, the 6'3", 205 rising sophomore from Buford, Georgia. Going to his Wofford stats, an 8.33 ERA, 35 2/3 inning pitch, allowing 46 hits, 33 earned runs, and 56 strikeouts.
Ready for baseball here on Saturday night from Cantine Field. Compton throws his first pitch, and it's a first pitch swinging single for Cody Meyer here in the top of the first.
Cody Meyer looking to just do a job with the first pitch of the game. He saw it, liked it, and shot it up the middle.
Yeah, Meyer was batting 2 for 4. We didn't even have time to tell you his stat line coming in. A 273 on the year. It'll bring the left fielder Justin Gouveia up to bat. And Gouveia leads the team in RBIs, AJ.
Taking a look at his season stats, a 269 average, getting 3 doubles, 7 walks, and doing a job with 3 RBIs, which is tied for the most on the team.
Yeah, he also leads the team in average with the 269. So a guy that's looking to maybe get Meyer over here. Meyer so far this season just a single stolen base as Compton checks over there at first. Mason Compton, the Wofford product, he has pitched before in this season for the Stallions. That was 4 innings against Amsterdam, gave up no runs in that one, even though the Stallions lost 10-0. So he was a bright spot on Sunday night.
Definitely made a name for himself the first game for the Stallions, shutting out 4 straight innings against a rival.
Here's the 0-1. That one's in there for a strike. The Stallions currently sit at second in the standings. It's the first time since last Sunday night at Cantine Field where they haven't been in first place. Amsterdam in first. They sit at 9-2 in the PGCBL East so far. Compton comes set for his 0-2. Here's the pitch. Going on the plays. Meyer, throw down. It's a dart, but in there safely as over there at short. Hott couldn't get the tag.
Meyer definitely making a statement quick that the Dragons are ready to run, but Manley knew it, saw it, reacted, and Hott just couldn't get it on that one.
Nate Manley behind the dish tonight. It was Josh Blackmore yesterday up in Albany. Zach Anderson still injured after that crash against the backstop a couple nights ago here at Cantine Field. Dragons with their first runner in scoring position. Here's the 1-2. That one misses outside, and the count will go to 2-2.
Compton today, after last night's pitching job, letting up 12 runs, just looking to just make the defense do the plays here, just to get outs and make it simpler for himself.
Yeah, you talk about that. The Stallions giving up 12 runs in that one, and the walks were really a problem. Dashing to third there is Meyer. Here's Manley's throw down. This time was in time. Genther questioning the call over there. But he's in there safely, and AJ, it seemed like the throw beat him down.
Definitely a questionable call. You saw him was very fidgety on the bases. Manley saw that as a catcher. You know he's going. You got to react. And Fritz Genther with a great tag, just not the same opinion by the umpire.
So now Compton will search for the first out of the inning. The sac fly does the job to give Glens Falls the lead. That pitch is hit into the gap for a base hit. It's an RBI single, and the Dragons have an early 1-0 lead here at Cantine Field.
Definitely a great start for the Dragons here, doing not the best job at the plate with an average of a 263 batting average on the team.
Yeah,
so
coming into this game.
Yeah, coming into this game. So definitely a good job by Ward, just doing a job there and getting it done.
So back-to-back hits for the Dragons. If you remember, they took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first last time that the Dragons played the Stallions. Going as Gouveia throw down. This time goes past Rodriguez, and 3 stolen bases here for the Dragons in just 2 batters, AJ.
Dragons are definitely showing that they're not scared to run the bases today and get opportunities with no outs. And with 2 successful stolen bases already, the Dragons are ready to do more.
Gouveia there with his 3rd stolen base of the season. Second runner in scoring position here for the Dragons in the top of the first. Nobody out. Compton in an 0-1 count. Checks the runner over at second. And AJ, last game that the Stallions and Dragons played, Glens Falls went up 1-0 in that top of the first, but then the Stallions would go on to win 8-1 in 9 innings. So not necessarily too much of a concern so far. That one's hit over to Rodriguez. He fields it. Throws it over to first. The runner will advance 90 feet. And now another opportunity for a second run if the Glens Falls Dragons can produce a sac fly here.
Such an important job for the Stallions to keep it in front of them in the infield here, because going down 2-0 in the first inning can be demeaning to the offense here. So trying to get the offense on their feet right away.
It'll be Odilio Cespedes, the DH, that will try and bring Gouveia home from third. Cespedes batting a .214, and that one is going to get down. Dragons take a 2-0 lead off of 3 hits here in the top of the first for a team that was getting outscored by a huge margin coming into this game, 86-39. They've put up 2 runs against the best ERA in the league here in the top of the first.
Definitely a surprising start for the Dragons here, having 27 RBIs through their first 10 games of the season. So putting up 2 against the best pitching ERA definitely shows a statement here for the Dragons.
Their best hitter only has 3 RBIs this season. Runner at first now for the Dragons is Cespedes. It'll bring the third baseman Jack Griffin to the plate. Griffin batting .200 this season. Went 1 for 3 against Utica last night. Here's the 0-1. That one misses outside.
Taking a look on Griffin on his season stats, he's only batting a .200 with 3 RBIs, 4 walks, and he has struck out 6 times. So a little bit of a struggling season here for Griffin.
Here's the 1-1. That one's in there for strike 2. And Griffin brought home the only run of the game for the Dragons last time they were at Cantine Field in the top of the first. Dragons had the bases juiced, grounded into a double play, but still did bring a run home. Compton searching for his first strikeout of the ball game. Here's the 1-2. Grounded in front of Manley. That one is foul. The count will stay at 1-2.
Dan, we've seen 3 stolen bases today, with Compton being aware as well. Compton maybe another look or communicating with Manley saying step off, outside pitch here. It's got to stop because 3 in the first inning, it's just going to roll over to the next inning.
He's done a good job switching up the timing as well. It's not like he's being repetitive or necessarily tipping pitches, but Dragons runners doing a great job, and those 2 Dragons that have stolen bases so far only had a combined 3 coming into this game, so matching that total here in the top of the first. Here's the 1-2 from Compton. That one's in there for strike 3. Gets Griffin looking for the second out of the inning.
Compton saw contact with the first few batters. Now it's time for him to settle in and do what he was here for to begin with, strikeouts and get outs. Saw a little bit of a mishap in the beginning, but Compton looking right now to change it.
Christian Knight, the catcher, will be at the dish here with 2 outs. Knight batting .154 this season. Hits that one to left field. Scaling under it in left field, no problem. There's Cuello for the third out of the inning. So the Stallions give up 2 here in the top of the first. They're coming to bat. Stay right with us here on the Saugerties YouTube channel. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. And AJ, a little bit of a surprise with the Dragons up 2-0 as the Stallions come to bat for the first time today.
Definitely a surprising look with the Stallions trailing 2-0 against a struggling offensive Glens Falls team. Stallions looking to just get on base here and do what they do best, hit the ball. And with a few innings of that, or even now, the Stallions should get a job done.
So let's see the starting lineup tonight for the Stallions that's going to be battling against the worst ERA in the league so far this season. Glens Falls sitting at a 7.79. It'll be Tyler back. To start out, he's out in center field. Then Fritz Genther, his first game since Oneonta on Wednesday night. And it's the star player of the team who also leads the league in average, Ethan Conrad. Byram Hott, who went 4 for 6 yesterday. Then it's Ryan Resio doing the DHing tonight. Matt McIntyre went 0 for 6 yesterday, looking to turn things around here tonight. Justin Ford, the extra hitter. Then it's Nate Manley, the catcher. Rich Rodriguez, who's batting .286 so far this season. And then Mike Cuello to round things out. Starting pitcher on the mound for the Dragons is Riley Orr. And AJ, what makes Riley Orr so effective? He knows a couple of these guys, spent his year down at Marist.
Definitely seeing some familiar faces by the Marist guys. He's a 6'2", 200-pound righty, a senior out of Marist, right? But the season so far, he's played 2 games, not a win, but he does have a loss, putting up a 9 ERA. So struggling a little bit with 4 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, giving up 5 hits and only 1 walk. So definitely has great control on the mound.
Someone that the Stallions are going to try and jump all over to get themselves back into this game. Bottom of the first here from Cantine Field. Stallions trailing by 2. Here's the first pitch from Orr. That's in there for a strike.
Taking a look at Tyler back, he has not gotten a hit yet this season, but the perfect time to do it now, down 2 runs, and just opportunity for the Stallions.
Here's the 0-1. That one's in there for strike 2. We saw high-velocity fastball there from Orr. Lots of tail on it, too. Back so far this season, has only struck out twice, trying to avoid number 3 here in the bottom of the first. Orr's 0-2, outside, and it's 1-2.
And Dan, let's talk about their pitching troubles this season, putting up a 7.83 team ERA, giving up 103 hits, giving up 85 runs in 10 games.
That's kind of unbelievable numbers if you ask me, but believe it. Strike 3 to back. He's down for the first out of the inning. It'll bring the third baseman Fritz Genther to the dish. Genther not playing since Wednesday night against Oneonta, and in that one went 2 for 4 with a double.
Genther having a successful season so far at the plate, 7 for 20, putting up a .350 average, doing great on the base with 6 stolen bases, so definitely not a man you want on the base path to start the game.
Yeah, that matches Ethan Conrad for highest on the team. He's on deck. Genther trying to get the Stallions' first runner on base here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. That one's down low for ball 1.
And Dan, we've talked about the Stallions' pitching troubles this season, right? We've seen it, we've witnessed it, we've talked about it. In reality, they've only given up 46 walks, and we talk about that as being a problem. Looking at Glens Falls' walks this season, 60. 14 more.
Just shows you the difference between both of those staffs. That one's inside, and it'll be ball 2. We talk about the problems with the walk, AJ. 3 RBI walks yesterday given up by the Stallions squad, and if you just take away one of those, most likely the Stallions would have come out with a win. Here's the 2-0. That one's hit into right center field by Genther. Ward's charging, and he's got it for out number 2.
Nothing more you could do with that ball. Hit it perfectly outside of the plate and just flew with it, you know? And the right fielder doing a great job just getting under it and just making it clean out.
Yeah, James Ward doing a nice job there. Gets Genther for out number 2. It'll bring up Ethan Conrad, the newly committed Wake Forest product. Went 3 for 5 yesterday against Albany with 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and also got plunked. So a very effective a day for Conrad in the nation's capital.
Conrad looking at
state's capital, not the nation.
Conrad looking at the first hit for the Stallions today. Just get on base with a scorching hot Byram Hot up next.
Hot went 4 for 6 yesterday. Conrad looking to give him a chance to be up here in the bottom of the first. That one's outside for ball 2.
In Riley Orr's mind right now, it's just not a batter you want to face, a successful 2 outs, and this batter could really get you off track with 1 hit.
Conrad had a solo homer with 2 outs in the first against Oneonta here on Wednesday night. This one's hit over to short. Mott's got it. He throws over in time for out number 3. The Stallions are held scoreless here in the bottom of the first. They trail by 2 as we head to the second. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Cup broadcast booth, gearing up for the top of the second. AJ, Stallions going down 1-2-3 in that bottom half of the first.
Not an everyday thing you see going 1-2-3 against a struggling pitching staff, which we've talked about numerous times today. Stallions just got to get the hang of it, see ball, hit ball, and you just got to keep it simple.
Yeah, the Stallions really just trying to lock in and you know, be more prepared. They really wouldn't expect to struggle against this team. It's the first time that the Stallions haven't gone down 1-2-3 since they played Albany on last Friday, and where they won 2-1. So it's been a long time where we haven't seen the at least fourth batter up for Saugerties. Mason Compton will settle in for his second inning of work. He'll face the second baseman, Kyle Wu. First pitch is outside for ball 1.
Compton got to wash away the first inning and take the second inning as the new first inning and just has to just focus on what he did against Amsterdam.
As 1-0, it gets Wu for strike 1. Wu so far this season's batting .263, went 1 for 4 in his last game against Watertown. That one coming on Wednesday night. Here's the 1-1. That one's grounded to the left side. Genther charges, throws it across the diamonds, got it for out number 1.
Stallions doing a great job limiting the errors last night against Albany, only having 1, but still giving up 12 runs, but definitely a positive outlook on the error side.
Yeah, they've had 12 now, AJ, in their last 7. Before Albany, they had given up 2 each in their last 6. So improvement. Improvement is the biggest thing. 1 out here in the top of the second. First pitch to Caden Bernardo, the first baseman, is a strike. Bernardo this season batting .200 through 5 games. Here's the 0-1. Off speed is in there for strike 2.
And Dan, we talk about another offensively struggled team by the Dragons. 100 strikeouts as a collective team in 10 games. And Bernardo struggling himself, already 9 this season.
He goes down for number 10, and there's 2 quick outs here in the top of the second.
Compton looking like the Compton we saw against Amsterdam with 4 innings and giving up no runs.
He's done a good job settling down here in this top of the second. He'll look to take Glens Falls down 1-2-3 against the extra hitter, Zowen Collins.
Collins this season struggling, 11 at-bats, only batting a 182.
Trying to improve that here tonight. That's been a constant theme for this Glens Falls team. A number of batters that are batting below 250. You really don't see it on the Stallions side. But this is a squad that has struggled, and there's a reason why they only have 2 wins. Compton up early here, 0-2.
And Dan, I was actually wrong. Their offensive average is a 194 collectively as a team. So that's almost 2 out of 10 get a hit.
The 0-2 is outside, and the count will go to 1-2. Glens Falls' worst start to a season since 2022. Looking for their first win in 366 days here at Cantine Field. The 1-2 from Compton, fouled back. Count will stay at 1-2. 2 outs here in this top of the second. A beautiful night at Cantine Field for some Saturday night baseball.
For Collins here, the head coach is definitely looking to get reps in for him, putting him as that extra hitter today. With a 182 as an extra hitter is very unusual, but definitely looking to see Colin improve, and they know he could do it.
That one's off the outside, and the count will be 2-2. Lots of 2s on the board. 2-2, 2 outs here in the top of the second, and Dragons are up by 2 with number 2 at the plate. Here's Compton's 2-2. That one is in there for strike 3. His 3rd strikeout of the day. Compton takes down the Dragons 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the second. Glens Falls still up by 2. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Up broadcast booth. Bottom of the second from Cantine Field. And AJ, the hottest hitter from yesterday, coming up to bat in the form of Byram Hott.
Yeah, yesterday we saw him go 4 for 6 at the plate with a double and only 1 RBI. But on the season, 13 for 39, 4 doubles, a home run, and second on the team with 10 RBIs. So a man you want at the plate right behind Ethan Conrad.
Yeah, so to put all those numbers into a more simpler form, he's getting a hit every 3rd time he's up to bat. Really has been effective. There's a reason why he's going to Louisville next year. Used Pack Up and is a member of the National Transfer Portal team. Looking to notch the first hit of the game here for the Stallions in the bottom of the second. First pitch for Moore is upstairs for ball 1.
Byram Hott, a daily player for the Stallions, a player that you could put at any position.
He's only missed 1 game, AJ, so far this season. He grounds this one foul. And you speak of him playing at different positions. Yesterday, he was at second. Today, he's over at short. And then the game before that, he was at third. So this guy plays all the infield positions.
And if he's not in the field, he's definitely a player the coach can rely on as an extra hitter or a DH. That's 5 positions that he could play throughout the field.
Here's Orr's 1-1. Off-speed misses upstairs, and the count's 2-1.
These two have, Orr and Byram Hott, have definitely faced each other in college practices at Marist. They both know what each player likes to throw and the pitches that Hott likes to hit.
Yeah, both teammates this past year down in Poughkeepsie. Now facing each other in the PGCBL. Here's the 2-1 from Orr. That one's hammered to center field. Going back is Meyer, and he's got it a few steps ahead of the track for out number 1.
Just perfect contact, a perfect swing, just not where the ball wants to land. And that's the game of baseball sometimes.
Ryan Rescio, the next up here for the Stallions. So far this season, Rescio batting .280, another guy that Saugerties relies on a lot to get hits in big moments. Played the hero about 2 weeks ago against Amsterdam, the first time that the Mohawks took a trip to Cantine Field, where Saugerties walked off the Mohawks. He gets hit by the pitch here. It'll be the first base runner of the game for the Stallions, and it's the first time this year that Rescio has gotten plunked.
Looking at Rescio, this is a bounce-back game for him, an 0-for-3 game for him on June 14th against Albany. So definitely a game for him to crush the ball and get right back on track where he ended off.
Matt McIntyre to the plate now, and this is a guy that's trying to bounce back. Went 0-for-6 yesterday against Albany with the strikeout. Did put the ball in play just to the wrong directions. Trying to get back on track, is still batting .273 for the year through 7 games.
A player with power, a player with consistency. His name is Matt McIntyre.
Matty M has the power. Here's the 0-1. That one's poked to right center field. It is going to get down. That's a base hit there for Matt McIntyre, and the Stallions have runners at first and second here with 1 out.
Just an unbelievable job by McIntyre, knowing that baseball is a game that you could just throw away the last one. And he did just that. He put it in the paper shredder, let it shred up, and got a single, doing exactly the job the Stallions needed him to do.
He put it in a great spot, too. The center fielder Meyer, the right fielder Ward, and the second baseman Wu all ran towards it, but it fell in that Bermuda Triangle. Nobody there. So with 1 out here in the bottom of the second, it'll bring Justin Ford, the extra hitter, up. Ford, the Seton Hall product, went 3-for-5 yesterday against Albany. That one's in there for a strike.
Justin Ford is your extra hitter for the Stallions, and an extra hitter, he could play a lot of that this year. He's doing great at the bat. Yesterday against Albany, like you said, 3-for-5. He's just seeing the ball, hitting the ball.
Rescio is at second. McIntyre's at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. That one's upstairs for ball 1.
Dan, talking about Glens Falls as an unpredictable team. 6-6 tie against Utica last night, and the Stallions lost 5-4. But the Glens Falls is 2-8. What do you got to say about that?
It's a weird league. It's baseball. Anything could happen on a nightly basis. Beating Albany 7-0 and then tying against Utica, you really wouldn't think so. This one's chopped over to Mott. He throws it to first, but they're going to say Ford beat it out in time, so now the bases are loaded here for the Stallions with 1 out in the bottom of the second. Ford just putting it in the right part of the infield allows him to reach with that speed. He had a triple yesterday, so this guy can get around the bases. It'll bring up the catcher, Nate Manley, who's batting .333 this season.
Manley, not a ton of at-bats this season, but a .333 staying consistent. He has 2 walks. He does have 2 strikeouts, but that overrules the efficiency he's had on the field.
The big number that everybody's staring at, no RBIs just yet. A great chance to get his first one of the season. That one misses down low. And that counts 1-0.
This is a situation that the Dragons see pretty often by judging of the scores. The Dragons do not like the situation. They're used to it, but this is a chance for the Stallions to go up big.
If they can roll a double play, it will get him out of this inning. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 2-0. Rescio is over there at third. McIntyre's at second, and Ford's at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Stallions looking for their first run of the ball game. Here's the 2-0. That one's popped up to the right side. Charging over there is Bernardo. He's not going to be able to get it.
A lucky break there from Manley. If Bernardo did get it, it would have been very tough for Recio to tag on home, and there would have been 2 outs, eliminating the possibility of a sac fly.
Now, Nate Manley comes from a great baseball high school. Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Larkin also attending Archbishop Moeller High School out in Ohio. Manley, another guy that comes from the Ohio area, one of 2, with Jake Mihalik being the other one, the Ohio State reliever. Here's the 2-1. That one misses outside. It's now 3-1.
We talk about consistency. Nate Manley defines consistency. He played at Wright State this year. 2024 is his freshman year. He played in 21 games. He had 62 at-bats and put up a .435, 7 home runs and 22 RBIs. Power.
He's small. He's 5'8", 175, but has got lots of power in the frame. Here's the 3-1. We speak of the power. He drives one to center field. This will score 2 runs. The Stallions have tied up this game here in the bottom of the second.
An exact position that Nate Manley wanted, the hit that he wanted, and the Dragons have seen this before. They take a 2-0 lead and give it up right away.
Manley with his first RBIs of the season. Stallions tie this game at 2. Ford gets over there to second, and now with runners at first and second, it'll bring up the second baseman, Rich Rodriguez.
Rich Rodriguez this season doing a great job at the plate. A .286, brought in 5 runners, and he has 3 stolen bases, so definitely a speedy guy on base as well.
Ford and Manley get their leads at first and second. Still 1 out here in the bottom of the second. We got a tie game at Cantine Field. It's knotted at 2-2.
Rodriguez has to follow the footsteps of Manley in that last at-bat and do the same thing, sweet and simple, and just find a place on the field.
Here's the 0-1. Swings through that one, and the count's 0-2. First 2 runs of this game coming by way of a Nate Manley 2 RBI single has tied the game up here in the bottom of the second. Stallions looking to tack on a couple of more. Here's the pitch. That one's dribbled to the left side. It will be foul.
So close to being fair, so close to being a single. A lot of things could have went right there for the Stallions.
We saw Justin Ford reach on an infield single earlier in this inning. That one over to Mott, couldn't get it over in time. Rodriguez almost taking a page out of the Seton Hall products book. But the count will stay at 0-2. (0-2) count, 1 out. Stallions with runners at first and second, trying to take the lead against the Dragons here in the bottom of the second. A pitch for more. Rodriguez holds up, and the count will be 1-2.
Great show of discipline there by Rodriguez, seeing the curveball, adjusting, and then at the last second, I don't like it, pull back.
1-2 count to Rodriguez. Ford is over at second, Manley at first. Here's the 1-2. Outside, good eye there by Rodriguez, and the count will be 2-2.
Going from an 0-2 to a 2-2 gives him way more opportunity to think of what pitch is coming next. Limits it not really to a curveball, mostly on the fastball side here.
Rodriguez searching for his 6th RBI of the season. Here's the 2-2. That one's hit out to right field. Ward is under it. Tagging to third is Ford. Here's the throw. He will make it in time.
Ford using his speed to his advantage. A great throw by Warden right field, but just Ford too fast to do it.
So now with 2 outs in the inning, it'll bring up the left fielder Mike Cuello. Cuello this season batting a 136. AJ, a guy that's trying to get back on track.
He's so close to getting on track these past few games, putting the ball just in the wrong spot, but great contact. A perfect opportunity for him with Ford on third and Manley on first, just to put the ball in the outfield, allowing 1 RBI.
2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Stallions tying up this game by way of a Nate Manley 2 RBI single. Cuello came in as a pinch runner in yesterday's game in the top of the 10th. Never came around to score, but did play the bottom half in defense. Here's the 1-0, fouled back. The count will be 1-1.
Cuello just looking for his pitch and just to put it even in the worst spot of the field, just drop. That's all he's looking for. As a batter, you got to get one hit to fall in order for the rest to follow.
We saw McIntyre do that earlier in this inning, just poking it out to right center field and falling in the right spot. Going to second is Manley, but this one's hit foul, and he'll go back to first.
Manley with an absurd jump. Something for the Stallions to look at. Not a ton of looks from Riley or to first base and or third base being on his dominant side.
1-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Stallions have tied up this game at 2. Looking to bring home Justin Ford from third. Here's the 1-2. That one's fouled to the right side, and the count will stay at 1-2.
Staying in the at-bat, it all matters for Cuello. Just looking to get on base. His speed is so efficient on the base paths. No one has any idea when he's stealing, and no one has any idea when he's going to just run around the bases unforcefully.
And a weak ground ball, he could definitely reach over there at first. Extremely speedy. Or looking for his second strikeout of the game and to get out of this inning. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs, and the count will be 2-2.
Same thing like we saw with Manley, Rodriguez, the 0-2, go to the 2-2. And like it happened to Rodriguez, he got hit with the fastball on that 2-2 pitch, putting it to right. Same thing here for Cuello.
2-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. That one is hit out to right center field. It will get down. A run will score. Going to third is Manley. He is going to be waved home. Cuello is chugging into second. He's got a stand-up double. Manley scores. And the Stallions have taken a 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Dan, I want to say I called that because I said same thing as Rich Rodriguez. This one went into the gap instead. And instead of scoring one, he got two. Just the jump start he needed to get on a streak, one that he didn't have right before this at-bat.
Cuello, a guy that really needed that hit more than anybody in the Stallions lineup. So 4 runs here in the bottom of the second. The Stallions offense that we're used to showing up here. They put up 4 runs in the top of the 9th yesterday. Doing so just 2 innings later here at Cantine Field, a mound visit here for the Dragons with 2 outs. Top of the lineup is coming up. It'll be Tyler Back the Wofford product. Teammates with Mason Compton, who started this game for the Stallions this past year. And Back is go ahead.
Back's looking for his first hit as well, Dan. We said in the first inning, struck out, but now this is another opportunity to do the same thing as McIntyre and Cuello and just get on base and start a hot streak for them in the future.
Yeah, Back still doesn't have a hit this season. Does have 3 walks, and with those 3 walks has stolen 5 bases. So this guy is more than speedy, just hasn't had many opportunities to show it. Cuello is at second. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. That one's in there for a strike.
After watching a few at-bats by Back, he likes to see the first pitch, see what's coming, find the launch angle, find the arm angle, and kind of adjust with it.
A 1 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. That one's grounded right back to Orr. He snags it, tosses over to first in time for out number 3. The Stallions take the lead, though, here in this bottom of the second. They're up by 2 as we head to the third. Dan Schallenbach here with A.J. DiBenedetto in the Pack Up broadcast booth. And A.J., an offensive explosion for the Stallions there in that bottom half of the second.
exactly what they needed. It all started out with just a hit by pitch to get Recio on first. Then we saw a single by McIntyre, a single by Ford, a single by Manley.
2 RBI single.
2 RBI single by Manley, sorry. And then a 2 RBI double by Cuello. So everyone in the lineup doing a job, and it's just shown, putting up 4 in that one inning.
Keeping the line moving. That's a constant theme we've seen from this team. They did it yesterday in that top half of the ninth when they put up 4. 4 singles in that top half, along with the walk and a couple of RBIs by a couple of different guys. Mason Compton's out there for his third inning of work and has settled down nicely after a rocky first.
Yeah, Compton we saw in the first inning give up 2 runs and 3 hits, but after that, no runs, no hits, just keeping it clean.
Here's his first pitch. That one is in the dirt. Manley with a nice snag. It's Christian Mott, the shortstop, up to bat. Went 0 for 2 last night with a walk against Utica. Here's the 1-0. That one's chopped over to Hott. Fields throws over, and it's in there for out number 1.
Great job by the Stallions, just limiting the errors, just keeping it clean in the infield. Hott doing a job. You got Rich Rodriguez at second. You got Fritz Genther at third. And can't forget about McIntyre at first.
Top of the lineup. Here for the Dragons, it'll be Cody Meyer. He started the game off with a single and eventually came around to score.
Dan, we talked about Meyer batting at .273, one of the best for the Dragons this year.
First pitch just misses for ball 1. He leads the team in average, Cody Meyer, the center fielder. Went 2 for 4 last night against Utica. 1-1 count, 1 out here in the top of the third. Here's Compton's 1-1. Fouled back, and it'll be 1-2.
Dan, taking a look at the pitch mix and arsenal by Compton today, seeing a lot of off speed. Dragons aren't adjusting that well after the first inning. They did well against them. Now second and third, they've seen it once or twice now, and it seems like they're doing it worse.
Compton searching for his 4th strikeout of the day. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3, he got him swinging. 2 quick outs here in the top of the third.
Dan, in the last 4 batters, we've seen 3 strikeouts. Compton has found his groove.
Definitely has found his groove. Had 2 strikeouts against Amsterdam when he pitched those 4 clean on Sunday. Has double that here today. We'll look to get the batters out in order with Justin Gouveia, the left fielder, up here for the Dragons, the 2-hole hitter. He has the RBI single in that top of the first, which gave the Dragons a 1-0 lead before they added 1 more. Gouveia also did come around to score. That was the 2nd run of the game for the Dragons. He's down here 0-2.
Compton just continuing to just make it his count. 0-2, 1-2, 0-1. Always seems like he has more strikes than balls in these past few counts.
0-2 count, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside. It's now 1-2. Stallions looking to beat the Dragons for the 3rd straight time since a stretch of July 20th to July 26th of 2023. Here's Compton's 1-2. Fouled back, and the count will stay at 1-2. Gouveia, the rising junior at UMass Boston. Trying to get on here with 2 outs. Here's Compton's 1-2. That one's in the dirt, and the count will be 2-2. You want to hear something interesting, AJ? Gouveia, the only lefty in his entire family. This guy, 1 in a million. Trying to make something happen. Here's the 2-2. 2 outs in the top of the third. fouled back. Gouveia doing a really nice job battling in this count. Was down 0-2 and now is at a 2-2.
Doing something similar that we saw by Rich Rodriguez and we saw by Michael Cuello, just fighting back into the count, a similar thing we've seen today.
2-2, 2 outs, a 4-2 game here from Cantine Field. Here's the pitch. This one's hit over to Rodriguez. Fields it, throws to first for out number 3. The Dragons go down in order here in the top of the third. Stallions lead it by 2 as we head to the bottom half. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Up broadcast booth. And AJ, Mason Compton has done a really nice job settling into this game after giving up those 2 runs in the top of the first.
Yeah, we've seen a few struggles by him in that first inning, but after that, it's just been a straight shoot. Second inning, giving Wu grounding out to shortstop, then a K to Bernardo, a K to Collins, ground out to third base by Mate, and then another strikeout to Meyer. So she's doing an absolute great job at the mound, saw the mistake, fixed it quick, and it's helping him out now.
It'll be 2-3-4 coming up for the Stallions. Fritz Genther to start things off. Genther today, a line out over to right field. Genther batting .350 coming into this game. Has only played 6 contests with the squad, but did go 2 for 4 against Oneonta on Wednesday night with a double and 2 stolen bases. So not a guy that Glens Falls wants to let get on. He's very speedy on the base paths. First pitch from Moore is down low. He's still on here for his 3rd inning of work. Has given up 4 earned runs so far. All those coming in the 2nd inning. Looking to settle down here in the 3rd. The 1-0 is chopped right over to short. Mott throws to first. A scoop over there by Bernardo, but he came off the bag, and Genther's got an infield single.
Pure 100 there from Genther from home to first, 90 feet running at full speed. And if he didn't do that, Bernardo would have just put his foot right back on the bag, and that would have been an out. So gifted a single for hustling right there, honestly.
Yeah, so they're going to call that an E6 over there. First error of the game for the Dragons. It'll bring Ethan Conrad to the plate. Conrad leading the PGCBL in RBIs. This guy also having a triple on his line. So really any situation where runners on base is an RBI opportunity for Conrad.
You talk about triples. He led triples in the NCAA this year, D1 division at Marist, and we're expected that here for the Stallions.
Genther gets his lead off of first. That one is outside, and the count's 1-1. Conrad committed to Wake Forest for next season, one of the 3 Marist players on this team through the Pack Up National Transfer Portal team to go to the Power 5. Genther gets a sizable lead over there at first. Conrad smokes this one to center field. Meyer goes back on it. He's on the track, and he's got it for out number 1.
Absolute torch there by Ethan Conrad. Same thing as Byram Hott. Solid contact, just right to Meyer in center field. And
Also, deepest part of the ballpark as well.
yeah, 390 center field. Any other place of the park, he's rounding the
If that was
bases.
to right or left, that ball is gone.
He's rounding the bases at this point when we're speaking.
It'll bring up Byram Hott here with one out. Gunther is at first. Hott with the fly out to center field in his first trip to the plate. That coming in the bottom of the second. Orr gives a check over to Gunther at first. He's back with plenty of time.
That's only Orr's first throwback today to first. Not a lot of stealing yet by the Stallions.
The Dragons have 3 stolen bases in this game. All those coming in the top of the first. Hott pokes this one to the right side. It will fall foul. And the count will be 0-1.
Another life there for Byram Hodge, just getting the end of the bat. He wants to do so much more with that ball. You could just tell by his aggressiveness at the plate.
Hott committed to Louisville for next year. A guy that more than deserves it. Batted .278 at Marist this past season. Looking to put some runners in scoring position here for the Stallions in the bottom of the third. Has played every game but one and is batting .333 coming into this game. Guenther now goes. Throw down by Knight is in time, but Guenther makes a nice swim move and he's safe.
We saw one close play by Manley, and then another close play by Knight. It just couldn't get the out. Just doing a great job, just getting into the bag. Great throws, great jumps, but just not the result the team wanted.
Guenther with his 7th stolen base of the season. That now leads the team. Hott's in an 0-2 count. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Here's Orr's pitch. Strike 3, gets Hott swinging. Hott goes down on strikes for the 7th time this season. It'll bring the DH Ryan Rescio to bat, and he kick-started the 4-run bottom of the second.
Rescio was just a hit-by pitch in the second inning, but that ignited the fire for the Stallions on that 4-run campaign.
Rescio batting .280 coming into this game. Nice block back there by Knight. Doesn't allow Guenther to move up.
When we talk about blocking and defense down behind the plate, Knight, Anderson, and not Knight. Anderson, Blackmore, and Manley just doing an absolute great job on just the improvement. We saw one game, I think it was 4 or 3, and now we're seeing 1-0.
Rescio, a rising senior out of Weber, another guy that Coach Colin Martin has brought up here for the summer. Batted .295 down at Weber this past season. That one's in there for a strike.
Dan, like you said, a .295 at Weber and a .280 this season. He's a consistent high 200 hitter. He gets on base, and it's just a job that he knows he has to do.
Guenther stands at second, a 1-1 count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. That one misses outside, and the count's 2-1. Beautiful night for baseball here from Cantine Field, about 74 degrees. No clouds in the sky, expecting a nice sunset over there on that left field side later on. Here's the 2-1. That one is fouled off to the right side. And the count will go to 2-2. Rescio looking for his 6th RBI of the season, with Guenther being in scoring position over there at second. Here's the 2-2. That one misses upstairs, and the count goes full.
Dan, the first full count we've seen today by Orr, and it's given to Rescio. Just curious to see what he does with this 6th pitch of the at-bat.
3-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Ryan Rescio at the plate. Fritz Guenther over at second. Orr shakes off his sign. Now comes set. Orr deals. That one's fouled, and the count will stay at 3-2.
Stallions have got to be used to that curveball, the changeup. We've seen it multiple times up here in the booth. They've got to see it down there with their own eyes and just time it, choke up on the bat, and just take it the way of the ball.
3-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Alessio trying to give the Stallions a 3-run lead. Here's the payoff pitch. Gets Alessio swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts to end this inning for Riley Orr. The Stallions still lead it by 2 as we head to the fourth. Stay with us. Dan Chalm with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Cup broadcast booth. A third of the way through, the Stallions with a 2-run lead as we get ready for the top of the fourth. Mason Compton is still out there.
Just the first inning struggle like we've talked about inning after inning, because the same result for 2 and 3 have been the same. Compton just doing a great job with it on the mound, leaving it up to the defense, getting strikeouts but also letting contact.
Now, Compton's retired the Dragons 1-2-3 in back-to-back innings. Will search to do it here in the fourth, and has 3 strikeouts in the second and third as well. So has done a great job settling down since that 2-run first. It'll be the 3-hole hitter James Ward here for the Dragons to start off the top of the fourth. First pitch is in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. That one's ripped to the right side, but it's foul. Ward was the first out of the game for Mason Compton in the top of the first. Compton with another 0-2 count, searching for his 5th strikeout of the game. Here's the pitch. That one is just poked out to right field. It will be foul. That ball just cutting foul, and Ward almost had his first hit of the game.
Dan, another opportunity here for a strikeout. Like we talked about before, 100 strikeouts coming into this game. Now 104 because of 4 Ks by Mason Compton. Kind of following the page on what we talked about pregame.
Searching for 5. Here's the 0-2 from Compton. Just holding up there is Ward, but a really good breaking ball there by Compton.
Tricky enough for the batters, not knowing what's coming, but Compton just from fastball to curveball to changeball doesn't change up his motion.
Here's the 1-2 from Compton. That one's grounded to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Genther, and he's not going to get it. Ward reaches on an infield single here to start the top of the fourth for the Dragons.
Ward just chugging down the line there, making it almost impossible for Prince Genther to make the play there. Did what he could. Great job by Matt McIntyre with the block, but just a greater job by Ward there.
Just put it in the right spot, and Ward's got a lot of speed. Was able to beat out the throw. Genther doing a great job getting the ball even over there. So with the runner on first, it'll be Odilio Cespedes, the DH. He has an RBI single in this game. That, of course, coming in the top of the first. His first pitch to Cespedes is a strike.
Cespedes with already a single in this game, adding to the 4 hits they have.
0-1, nobody out here in the top of the first. Runner at first is Ward. Here's the 0-1. That one misses. Counts 1-1. Now Cespedes is a rising senior at Bryan and Stratton, and AJ, you and I would know a little bit about that. That's about 10 minutes away from Syracuse, where we go to school up in central New York. Here's the 1-1. That one is fouled. The count will go to 1-2.
Ward on first base, just looking for any opportunity to run. Didn't get on base his first at bat, but now a speedy guy like we just saw chugging down first base line with opportunity to go to second. It's important for Manly to keep an eye on that.
Cespedes is a returning Dragon, played with them last year, batted .328. So definitely a guy they want to get going. Here's the 1-2. It's fouled back. And we'll do it one more time.
Dan, the consistency of that 1-2 pitch, that 0-2 pitch, you can imagine Coach Rich Doobie being a fan of that in the dugout.
The 1-2 from Compton. Searching for his 5th strikeout of the game. Here's the pitch. It's fouled off once again. Cespedes doing a great job battling in this count.
3 straight foul balls there for Cespedes. Any way to keep in this at-bat. Like you mentioned, he batted a .328 last year. When he's hot, he's hot. He puts the ball in play, and with an effective stance, he's just ready to hit the ball. It's a quick step and go.
Cespedes batted .415 at Bryan and Stratton this past year. JUCO ball up there in central New York. Ward leads off of first. Here's the 1-2. This time it is in play. Genther gets it at first, throws it over. Not in time. Excuse me, Genther got that one over there at third. Threw over to first, was trying to get the double play, but not in time.
Just a half step away there for Genther, and a great scoop again by McIntyre. Just trying to get the revenge on Ward from when he beat him out when he got the single.
So Ward will stay at first, and now with 1 out in the inning, it'll be the third baseman, Jack Griffin. Struck out looking into his first at-bat. Was the first strikeout of the day for Compton.
7 strikeouts on the season now for Griffin. A little bit of a struggling eye at the bat, not finding what he likes 100%, but a man that could be efficient at the plate as well.
Back-to-back pickoff plays over there by Compton, just wanting to keep Ward close over there at first. One out here in the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch from Compton. It's fouled back for strike one. Now, Griffin, a rising junior, just finished his sophomore year at St. Rose, which isn't a college anymore. It just got shut down up there in Albany. So he's in the portal. He's a returning Dragon. He had 185 this past season up there in Albany. And Compton gets caught with the balk. Ward was making lots of motion over there at first, AJ, and it frazzled Compton a little bit, and it allows the runner to move up 90 feet.
Dan, it's the 11th game of the season, and that's the first balk we've seen yet. An unusual call by the umpire. I didn't see a ton of movement up here from the booth, but obviously enough down there for them to make the call.
So now runner in scoring position here for the Dragons with 1 out. The 0-1 to Griffin is fouled to the right side. Count will be 0-2. Griffin, a local guy from Clifton Park, New York. That's about an hour and 10 minutes north of here, up in the Albany area. Compton searching for his 5th punch out of the ball game in an 0-2 count. That one is hit over to Hott. Fields it, throws to first, and it's in time. Ward moves over to third, but there's now 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Making that play was crucial. A sac fly does not get a run in now, keeping it to 4-2. Stallions defense just has to be aware that the score, they're only up 2. A lot can happen.
Christian Knight now to the dish, the catcher. Flew out to Cuello out in left field in his first at-bat in the top of the first. Was the last out of that inning. That one is hit over to right field in Conrad's direction. He's on his horse, and he makes the play. Conrad with an extremely athletic play out there and right to end the inning. Stallions keep the lead at 2. They're coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. AJ, Ethan Conrad with an extremely athletic play out there and right to end that top of the 4th.
Speed was the name of the game on that one. Saw the ball, reacted as quick as he can, and saved a run and definitely in a double. So a great job by Ethan Conrad there, forcing it to go to the bottom of the 4th.
In this bottom of the 4th, it'll be Matt McIntyre, Justin Ford, and Nate Manley coming up. All 3 guys who have singles in this game.
This is the part of the order that they saw Orr very well, and this is the part of the order where they're going to get runs if they do exactly what they did in that second inning.
Speaking of, Riley Orr out there now for his 4th inning of work. On the other side, Mason Compton doing a great job there in that top of the 4th, really limiting anything from happening. He's pitched now 3 clean innings since giving up 2 runs in that top half of the 1st. So now Matt McIntyre will get things going. Like we mentioned, 0 for 6 yesterday, but has shown nice plate discipline and being able to get on base here today.
Instead of seeing the ball like a tennis ball now, he's going to see it like a volleyball, which is so important for a batter.
I like that analogy. First pitch is down low for ball 1. McIntyre, the New Haven product, here in Saugerties for the summer. Or gets his first strike of the at-bat. 1-1 count, bottom of the 4th here with nobody out. Stallions trying to add a couple more runs. That one is in there for strike 2.
Just a great pitch by Orr, and just getting the inside corner. McIntyre just wasn't ready for it.
The 1-2. Off-speed just misses, and the count will go to 2-2.
McIntyre, a 300 consistent hitter at New Haven, his freshman year 2023, a 360, now 2024 as a sophomore, 329.
This guy has plenty of power. The 2-2 gets him looking for strike 3 on the inside half. It's 3 strikeouts in a row here for Riley Orr, and there's 1 out in the bottom of the 4th.
Looks like Riley Orr is figuring out where to throw the ball. 3 for 3 on his last 3.
It'll bring Justin Ford to the plate. Now, Ford didn't get that much playing time at Seton Hall this past year, AJ, but in high school, a .638 batting average in his senior year. Pretty nasty, if you ask me. First pitch he sees, grounds it over to short. Mott's got it. Throws over for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
This is exactly what Riley Orr needed, just to get right back on track. Low pitches, more outs, and just allow him to go the longevity of the game, inning after inning. A rough second inning, but just to put that beside him.
He's done the exact same thing that Mason Compton has done, just settling into the game after giving up a few runs. It'll be Nate Manley to the dish. had the 2 RBI single, which was the first 2 runs to score for the Stallions in that bottom of the 4th. First pitch to him is a strike. Manley was batting .333 coming into this game. That average now higher. Looking to build upon it here in the bottom of the 4th with 2 outs. That one misses outside, and the count's 2-1. Or excuse me, 1-1. And AJ, Manley getting some increased time right now with Zach Anderson, the other catcher for the Stallions, being out with that injury to his chin.
This is a perfect opportunity for Manley to make a name for himself behind the plate and at the bat. This is the time for him. He doesn't know Coach Colin Martin that well. A first year for the Stallions. Now is his time to make his mark, to make his name, to make a statement, and get a starting position or even right behind Josh Blackmore behind the dish.
Yeah, Blackmore, of course, the Weber product. Played under Colin Martin this past year down in Florida with the team for the entire season here in Saugerties. The 2-1 in there for strike 2. And Orr will now search for his 4th strikeout in 5 batters. Both pitchers in this game with 4 Ks. That one's fouled back by Manley.
If I'm the Stallions now, Dan, I'm looking for first pitch type of aggression. Seeing my last 4 batters, 4 strikeouts, this is the last thing you want, the pitcher to find a groove. See first pitch and hit it.
Here's the 2-2. That one's down low, and Manley's done a nice job working himself into a full count here with 2 outs.
Second full count of the day here, Dan. Let's talk about last night. We saw 13 full counts, the most we've seen all year.
3-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Stallions leading by 2. Trying to add on a couple more. Here's the pitch. That one's strike 3 looking. 5th strikeout of the day. 2nd one of the inning for Orr. Stallions still leading by 2, though, as we head to the 5th. Stay right with us. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Cup broadcast booth. Mason Compton is out of the game, and AJ, the freshly committed Jack Wren, is in here for the Stallions.
Having a great season so far. The last time we saw him was on June 7th in that nail-biting win against Albany, a 2-1 fashion win. But so far this season, 2 games started, a 3.37 ERA, 8 innings pitched, with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks.
So why don't you tell me, why is this guy committed to Maryland after throwing a 3.6 at Merrick's this past year?
2024 season, he did put up a 3.6, and we saw in 17 appearances, 50 innings, only giving up 39 runs, with 24 earned runs and only 20 walks. So an unbelievable season for Jack Wren, and there's a reason why he's going to a Power 5 school in this upcoming season.
This guy's had quite the turnaround, AJ, if you look at his stats. In 2022, a 13.14 ERA, and then in 2023, a 12.09, and then gets it down by 9 runs this past season, a 3.6 through 50 innings pitched. Pretty big transformation, and going to Maryland now for his senior year. Go ahead.
Taking a look at it, Dan, twice the more appearances from 22 to 23. So gained trust by Marist head coach.
Mason Compton leaves the game with 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Didn't give up any runs after that first inning, so did a really nice job settling into this game after giving up 2 in that top half of the first. So Jack Wren, in his first appearance in about 8 days, looking to keep the Saugerties Stallions lead at 2. Here's his first pitch. That one's in there for a strike.
First pitch bunt there, Dan, looking for a man on. They know the effectiveness of Wren. Any way to get on is a way to get on here.
That's Kyle Wu at the dish, the second baseman. The 0-1 from Wren is fouled off, and he's quickly got himself an 0-2 count. Wren, the 6'5", 210 rising grad student, going to Maryland for his 5th year. Here's his 0-2. That one just, Wu fights it off. He was late on that fastball. Wren so far this season with 3 strikeouts, searching for 4 here in the top of the 5th. Wu hits this one over to second. Rodriguez fields on a hop and throws to first for the first out of the inning.
And Dan, I don't want to jinx it, but we've seen 0 errors now for the second consecutive game. Colin Martin definitely has a smile on his face down there with 0 errors. It's been absolute great by the Stallions defense.
It'll be Caden Bernardo, the first baseman, coming up to the plate. Struck out in his first plate appearance. That was in the top of the second. Now, Bernardo, another Marist guy, AJ. So Wren and Bernardo facing each other this past year down in Poughkeepsie.
Definitely familiar with each other, the pitches and the pitches that Bernardo likes to swing.
The 0-1 misses outside. Here's the 1-1. That one's looped out to right field. It's very shallow. It's going to be foul, and that's the second time we've seen that, where Glens Falls almost has a hit, but the ball just tails foul at the last moment.
That's 2 times now, both going the Stallions' way, and we were thankful for that over here. But just on the line right there.
Another favorable count for Jack Wren. Wren got ahead 0-2 on Kyle Wu before producing a ground out to second base. Looking to be just as effective here against Bernardo. And Bernardo this season batting .200 coming into this one, that now down. So a guy that's trying to get himself back on track. Here's the 1-2. Nice block by Manley in the dirt. And the count will be 2-2.
Bernardo also leading the team in strikeouts with 10. And we talked about 100 over the whole season. He contributes to 10 of them, looking to just choke up and just anything in the outfield, in the infield, just not a strikeout here.
2-2 count, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Stallions leading by 2. Here's the pitch from Wren. That one's outside, and the count's now full. Wren just losing a little bit of control there on the past 2 pitches.
3rd full count of the day, so still 10 less than yesterday, and we're in the 5th inning here.
That game yesterday was a doozy. The score being 6-4 in the bottom of the 5th. This time, he gets Bernardo to go around, and AJ, Bernardo thought that was a walk.
I think all of us did. A little bit of a delayed call by the first base umpire, but strong strikeout call, making that his 11th strikeout of the season. So a little bit on the struggling side there.
Zowan Collins coming up now, the extra hitter. He also has a strikeout in this game. Got caught looking in the top of the second. That one's a strike. Collins in the transfer portal after going to Dominican College this past season. Stands at 6'4", 212 out of Cobleskill, New York. Here's the 0-1, and Wren gets ahead once again. It's 0-2.
3rd batter where he's got ahead 1-2, 0-2. In the last batter, we saw it go to a full count. Jack Wren definitely thinking in his mind, consistency, get this 3rd strike right now.
Wren comes set. Here's the 0-2. Strike 3, he got him. Wren gets back-to-back strikeouts and retires the first 3 batters he faces here in the top of the 5th. Stallions lead by 2. They're coming to bat. Stay right with us. Dan Chalm with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here from Cantine Field. Stallions leading 4-2 in the top of or going into the bottom of the 5th. And AJ, we've seen the pitching be so clean. Mason Compton and Jack Wren both combining now for 4 clean innings since that top half of the 2nd.
Yeah, he erased that from the memory, and we've had scoreless innings since. A great job by Compton, and then relieved by Jack Wren, your new Power 5 player at Maryland. And Jack Wren just doing Jack Wren things with a ground out to second with the first batter, a strikeout to Bernardo with the second, and a strikeout to Collins to end the inning.
New pitcher on the mound here for the Dragons is number 32, Ryan Johnston, the 6'1", 180 rising sophomore.
Taking a look at his pitching this season, we've seen him in 2 games, supporting a 3 ERA with 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts and a walk. So definitely a great few innings for him so far this season, looking to continue it against the Stallions.
Yeah, the Dragons throwing their best arms tonight. Riley Orr leaves the game 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts, but similar to Compton, really settled down well after that bottom of the 2nd. So far, the box score looking like Glens Falls with 2 in the top of the 1st, and then Saugerties with 4 in that bottom of the 2nd. That's been all the scoring so far in this one. As we're halfway through, it'll be Rich Rodriguez, the second baseman, digging in for his second trip to the dish of this game.
First at bat, we saw a fly out to right, looking to just get it on base here this time.
First pitch from Johnston is a strike. Johnston, the Sienna product. So a local guy. He knows everything really around here. He's out of Del Mar, New York. Here's the 0-1. The off speed gets through past the shortstop, Mott. And man, AJ, that ball was so weakly hit off the bat, but nothing over there that Griffin and Moat could do.
Just a great job by Rodriguez there, sitting back, adjusting, and just hitting it the way it's supposed to go. An unexpected curveball, a slower one than we saw with Orr. Definitely an adjustment and a quick adjustment by Rodriguez there.
It'll be Mike Cuello, who has a 2 RBI double so far in this game. A guy that's really trying to break up his cold streak, batting .136 coming into this game, but turning it around so far tonight here at Cantine Field.
Cuello just looking to upgrade the campaign, like you said, a .136. It's up now, man on first, no outs, there's no stress.
Rodriguez over there does have a stolen base this season. Pitches upstairs, and the count's 2-0.
Dan, taking a look at from the mound to the pitcher, it's kind of a slow release. See a slow release giving Rodriguez tons of opportunity to get a steal here.
2-0 count, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. You called it, AJ. Rodriguez went, but the ball goes foul, and the count will be 2-1.
Johnston definitely going to take a look over Rodriguez now. Thankful it was a foul ball, because if not, Rodriguez had a good 1 to 2, even 3 steps on him right there.
Rodriguez trying to give the Stallions some insurance here in the bottom of the 5th. They lead it by 2. Rodriguez scurries back on the pickoff play. Stallions sitting at second in the PGCBL, trying to get back to first, a half game back of Amsterdam. It's the first time that they're in second since 2 weeks ago. This one's a tailor-made double play. Moat over to Wu, over to Bernardo. Not in time. Cuello's speed gets him over to first.
Not exactly what you wanted, but like you just said, Dan, his speed gets him to a fielder choice rather than a DP ball.
And just a missed opportunity there for Glens Falls to get 2 outs. That one was really a tailor-made double play. No other way to say it. Top of the lineup here for the Stallions. It'll be Tyler Bach coming up. Bach in this game 0 for 2, still searching for his first hit of the year with the Stallions. Johnston checks over on Cuello. Cuello is a speed threat, has 3 stolen bases this season. And now he goes. Throw down by Knight, not in time. Ball goes into the outfield. Cuello's going to go up to third off the error by Knight.
Dan, just a great job by Cuello. Saw it, got safe to second. Shortstop, second base had trouble communicating on who was the backup there. Advances to third, and thank God for Johnston backing up the third baseman.
Otherwise, Cuello's coming home, yeah. So now Tyler back with a perfect RBI situation, looking for his first RBI of the year. That one's fouled off to the left side. And the count will be 0-2. Oh-2 count. Johnston looking for his first strikeout of the day. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled off, and the count will stay at 0-2.
Tyler Bach, pure potential, a regular player for the Wofford baseball team this year, batted in the high 200s. He just hasn't found his Stallions groove yet, and sooner or later when he does, it's going to be an efficient first batter in the lineup.
The 0-2 misses outside, and AJ, he's only been with the team for 2 games, so you got to give him a little bit of a slack. Like you mentioned, batted .286 this past year down at Wofford. Teammates with lots of guys on this team. The Stallions having a few guys down from Wofford in Spartansburg. This one is inside, and the count will be 2-2. Two count, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Cuello is at third. Here's the pitch. That one gets away from Knight. Cuello dashes home. He'll be there, no throw, and the Stallions have taken a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
He steals from first to second, gets on third because of an error, and now gets home on another error. A great job by Cuello from first to home, all by himself.
Just a pass ball there by Knight. Allows Cuello to score, and it's now a 5-2 Stallions lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Johnston's payoff pitch. Down low and back, works himself a walk.
0-2 to a walk, great discipline. Right before that, the 4th full count of the game, so a continuous fight back by the Stallions and even continuous fight back by the Dragons as well.
Yeah, showing great plate discipline out there that the Stallions are. It'll be Fritz Genther, the third baseman, up. He's 0 for 1 tonight, reached on an E6 last time. Just a hard hit ball in the infield and forced an error over there by Moat.
Taking a look at Fritz Genther, he started his career at Virginia Tech, put himself in the transfer portal, went to UMass Lowell, and now he's a graduate student, graduated college, looking to play for Indy ball after his opportunity here with the Stallions. A great player at the bat and even a better player on the field.
Yeah, Indy ball, a very competitive league, and hopefully Fritz gets that opportunity. Dashing to second is back. The throw down Back is there in plenty of time, and he's showing off the wheels.
6th stolen base of the year by Back. Hasn't got a base on ton these past 2 games. Again, still getting into the groove. We got to give the guy some time. But anytime he is on base, it's almost guaranteed a steal.
He's a true speed threat. So now another runner in scoring position here for the Stallions with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 0-1. That one misses outside. And the count's 1-1.
Stallions getting a grasp on the curveball here by Johnston. A very slow curveball, more of like a 12-6 than your regular sweeping curveball.
1-1 count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch by Johnston. This one's fouled back. Genther, a local guy from Kingston, New York, has been with the Stallions before. Now with them again, and AJ's also switched his number here from 44 to 35. Thought, I'll bump down by 9. Maybe it'll give me a little bit of good luck. Here's the 1-2. That one misses, and the count's now 2-2.
Dan, taking a look at his college years, 2022, he batted a 290. Take it to 2023, a 324, so an up year. And then to 2024, a 281, so a consistent man on the bases with multiple hits.
Here's the 2-2. That one's inside, gets past Knight again. Back wastes no time. He moves up to 3rd. And now the Stallions have a runner at 3rd and a full count with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
So we saw a great job by Knight these past 5 innings, being a brick wall behind the plate, giving up 0 pass balls this inning, a pass ball to get Cuello home, and a pass ball to get back to 3rd.
Is that just miscommunication there on signs between the pitcher and catcher?
It looked like more of a fastball to me. Knight probably expected an off-speed. It was a fastball a little bit to his right. I just don't think he expected a fastball coming, not giving him enough time to react.
So a full count now, bottom of the 5th. Back is over at 3rd. Genther trying to bring him home. This one's popped up to the right side. Going to be a tough play for Bernardo. Wu calls him off, makes the catch. Back threatens, but will stay at 3rd. And now with 2 outs in the inning, it'll be Ethan Conrad to the dish.
Conrad 0 for 2 to start the day today with a absolute scorched ball to center field. The Dragons are thanking themselves that it wasn't to right or left. And we have a ground out to the shortstop. So Ethan Conrad looking for his first hit of today's game.
Went 3 for 5 and also got hit by a pitch yesterday against Albany. This guy leading the PGCBL in average coming into this game. And AJ, the last time he was up, that line out to center, any other part of the ballpark, and that ball's gone.
Yeah, it was a great hit. Ethan definitely looking at it saying, that stinks, but it's part of the game.
Off speed is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Conrad, another guy that used Pac Hub to find his next destination, settling on Wake Forest for next year after having offers from Vanderbilt and Arkansas. The 1-1 to him is outside. Conrad batting .389 this past year at Marist and led the league in triples, entire Division I. So there's a reason why this guy is going to a big ACC school next season. Wake Forest also came and visited him at Cantine Field before his commitment. The 2-1 is smoked to right field. Will it stay fair? No, it's going to be foul, but that ball was crushed.
Dan, the first 3 pitches of this at-bat, curveball, curveball, curveball. 4th pitch, fastball. He will not throw that again.
I think Conrad was waiting for that one. And if that ball was just 5 feet to the left, it's a home run. So Conrad just missing, and Johnston getting saved by the foul pole. Here's the 2-2. That one smacked to left field. Gouvea's got it for out number 3. So Conrad nearly had a home run here with 2 outs, but the Stallions still put up a run in the bottom of the 5th. They lead it by 3 as we head to the 6th. Dan Shalom here alongside AJ DiBenedetto in the Pack Hub broadcast booth. AJ, I'm still thinking about that Ethan Conrad foul ball about 5 minutes later now.
The wind blowing the way the wind blows. Just an unfortunate foul ball, an absolute crush ball, as I say over and over again, because just the sound it makes off the bat.
That ball was pimped, and he had plenty of carry on that. If it was just a little bit more fair on that right field line, would have been a 2-run shot, and the Stallions could have had a 5-run lead. Regardless, they're still up by 3. Jack Wren settling in here for his second inning of work. Wren retiring the Dragons in order in that top half of the 5th. Wu grounding out to second, and then back-to-back strikeouts to Bernardo and Collins to end that top half of the 5th. Looks to do the same here against the 10-0 hitter, Christian Mote.
We saw Mote with the ground out to the third base his last at-bat, and this is only his second at-bat of the game.
Yeah, Mote came in batting .214, went 0 for 2 against Utica last night with a walk. That game ending in a tie, 6-6, double what the Stallions score ended yesterday with Albany, also a 12-12 tie.
Dan, when was the last time you saw two teams' last game being a tie and it not even being against each other?
Well, I mean, AJ, I'll be honest with you. I'd never seen a tie in baseball till yesterday. That was my first time experiencing it firsthand, and to see 2 in a singular day, that's got to be some luck or something. Wren comes set for his 1-1. That one's in there for a strike. 1-2. Wren searching for 3 straight strikeouts. He comes set. Here's the pitch. Bat is shattered, and he catches it. Wren able to see through the scattered pieces of the bat and catches it for out number 1.
A scary play that no pitcher wants to ever happen to them. That bat was not broken into 1 piece, 2 piece, but it was broken into 3 pieces. And Jack Wren just lucky enough to just have the ball in the glove right there.
Yeah, all those pieces went to the left side, was able to get a clear view, able to glove it. But we have seen some scary incidents in the past with shattered bats on the infield. Still, 1 out here in the top of the 6. It'll bring the top of the order up here for Glens Falls. It'll be Cody Meyer, the center fielder. He's 1 for 2 today. Had a single in that first, eventually came around to score while also stealing 2 bases. Here's the 1-0. Gets him swinging for strike 1.
Meyer, a man that, again, 1 for 2 today, 2 for 4 June 14th against Utica. He's a reliable first hitter on the lineup.
It's the reason why he's batting .273. That leads this Glens Falls team. 1-1 is upstairs, and the count will be 2-1.
First count we've seen Jack Wren have more balls than strike, I think, since he's relieved for Mason
First
Compton.
time since we've seen him get behind. This is a true reason why he's going to Maryland. This guy usually is ahead of hitters all the time. Gets himself right back into the count, and it's now 2-2.
Being 6'5", weighing 210, 220, you have immense longevity from the second you pick up your foot to the second you land it.
Here's Wren's 2-2. That one's in the dirt, and the count will go full. 5th full count of the game. We saw 13 yesterday against Albany. That game going 3 hours and 30 minutes and ending in a tie. The payoff pitch is hit to the right side. Conrad charging. He'll let it bounce. So it's a 1-out single here for Cody Meyer in the top of the 6th.
First hit that Wren has given up in this entire outing. Nothing you could do, though. A great hit, great approach. Wren's got to shake it off and just look to get the double play here.
Not trying to do too much there as Meyer just pokes it out to right. Meyer in this game has 2 stolen bases and has come around to score, so a speed threat over there at first. It'll be Justin Gouveia, the left fielder, up now. Gouveia batting .269 coming into this game and 1 for 2 tonight. Wren takes a look. Gouveia had the RBI single to bring Meyer home. Meyer, with Gouveia at the plate, was able to steal second and third. And they made the job so easy for Gouveia, just needing to find the outfield. Wren's first pitch. That one there's a strike.
Dan, you see a different type of look here by Wren and by Manley. Obviously communicating, Wren already throwing it back once they saw the first inning result. They're just trying not to repeat that.
Yeah, and Wren also using the slide step, too. Not picking up that left leg very much. You'll see it right here, barely picking it up, which gives little time for Meyer to go over to second.
Taking a look at Manley as well behind the plate, you can see his legs are ready. He's ready to transfer from the glove to his hand and absolutely fire it down to second.
So Wren's got an 0-2 count here on Gouveia with 1 out in the top of the 6th. Pitch just misses on the outside, and it's 1-2. Wren takes a look over at first. Now comes set. Here's the pitch. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Strikeout number 3 for Jack Wren, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Dan, that's strikeout number 3 for Wren, but strikeout number 7 for the Glens Falls Dragons today. 10 being the game average after we did some math. Very close to the average for today.
I mean, you're just not going to win games if your lineup's striking out 10 times a game. It's like video game numbers from the Stallions staff, though, here tonight. They got 7 so far. Nice block right there by Nate Manley.
Still no balls behind Nate Manley today, doing an absolute great job. We've seen 4 drops and blocks between these first 5 innings of play, 5 2/3 actually, and Nate Manley just doing a job.
Right fielder James Ward at the plate, singled in that top of the 4th, looking for back-to-back hits here with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. That one's upstairs, and the count's 2-0. Wren really letting it fly here tonight, AJ. The velocity has been hot. Wren's 2-0 as Meyer leads off first. Gets Ward swinging, and it's now a 2-1 count.
It's a 5-2 game, Dan. 5-2 Stallions, but also 5 hits apiece. So a crazy kind of score box going from the same amount of hits as well.
Wren's 2-1. That one gets past Manley, and moving up 90 feet is Meyer. Meyer now in scoring position.
I jinxed it. The pass ball. First one of the day, but just a great job by Nate Manley, just keeping it in front of him as most as he can.
2-2 count, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Meyer is on second for the Dragons. Ward trying to bring him home. Here's the pitch. That one misses, and the count is full. And now Manley's going to want to go and talk this one over with Wren.
Now, Dan, that's the 6th full count of the day now.
I mean, you as a catcher, what just went on right there? What's going on?
Maybe it could possibly be miscommunication or something that Nate Manley couldn't explain with the finger communication. He had to tell him face to face, saying either watch the man on second or it could possibly be let's change up the signs here.
Meyer stands at second. He scored once today, trying to score again. Ward trying to get his first RBI of the day. A full count with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Here's the payoff pitch. Upstairs, and first walk of the day from Jack Wren gives the Dragons runners at first and second here with 2 outs.
2 outs. Wren's just got to know the defense has got them. They're up 3. They've only allowed 5 hits so far, and most of it came in the second inning. The Dragons have lost their touch a little bit on the far side, and Jack Wren has to see that and take advantage of that right now.
One of those guys that has brought home a run today, though, is the man at the plate, Odilio Cespedes. Had an RBI single in that top of the 1st. Looking to bring home another run right here. Wren gets ahead 0-1.
An absolute power hack there by Cespedes, giving his intentions of what he's about to do this at-bat pretty quickly.
Cespedes, a .214 hitter coming into this game. Had his first RBI in the top of the 1st of the season, is looking for number 2 right here. Excuse me. This one's fouled back, and the count's going to be 0-2.
That went through the netting behind the backstop.
That's shocking. You don't normally see that, and I bet you the Canton grounds crew will have that fixed here for the next game, no doubt. 0-2 count here to Cespedes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. This one grounded right back to Wren, goes over him. Rodriguez Fields throws to first for out number 3. So Wren gets out of the jam unscathed. Stallions lead it by 3, heading to the bottom of the 6th. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto in the Pac Cup broadcast booth. AJ, that could have potentially been Jack Wren's last inning as a Stallion. Won't pitch past this game. We'll see if they throw him out there for the 7th. But makes sense for Maryland to shut him down as he just committed this week.
Maryland taking every precaution possible. They saw a diamond in the rough, and he's going there now. No reason for him to get hurt.
Yeah, but the Stallions add 2 new arms with Wren's departure. One being Steven Rojas from Tampa, who went to the D2 championship, and Nate Williams from Mississippi State. These 2 guys are impact arms.
Definitely great arms for the Stallions. Nate Williams putting it up an unbelievable stat. We took a look back at his 2020 PBR, and the first thing we saw was a velocity of a 95.8 four-seam fastball. So throwing that in high school, you can only imagine the velocity he's gained and the experience he's grown since going to Mississippi State.
Haven't seen him here yet for the Stallions. We'll probably pitch in the next few days. It'll be Byram Hott, the Louisville commit, at bat here for the Stallions in the bottom of the 6th. Off-speed misses, and the count's 1-1.
Johnston's loving the off-speed today. We've seen it at least 50% on every batter. I've been counting over here, Dan. 50% every batter. He likes it.
Hott with an uncharacteristic swing. I said Wren, I'm just thinking about the 3 Marist guys, and AJ, Wren will be the first to be off this team, and we're going to see that a lot this season with the Stallions team. New guys coming in and out with the Pac Hub transfer portal.
Being in such a successful portal, the Pac Hub transfer portal, you're going to go to a good school. If you're going to go to a great school, they're going to have to shut you down for precaution. It's the name of the game.
But like we saw, 2 new arms coming in already, one an SEC arm and one going to the D2 championship. That one's hit to deep right field. Ward's got it. And AJ, that Tampa team winning the D2 championship, so a very experienced arm in Steven Rojas joining the team, who we haven't seen pitch just yet for this squad.
Steven Rojas already going to be in midseason form. He just stopped playing baseball, opened the new door for the Stallions, and is playing baseball again. Baseball is a non-stop sport for these college guys.
Ryan Resio to the dish now. He's 0 for 1 today. Has a strikeout and got hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 2nd.
Looking for his first hit, Dan, like we said, come into this game batting a .280, supporting 1 home run and 5 RBIs.
Pitch just misses, and the count's 1-1. That one's whipped over to the left side. Griffin fields it, throws across the diamond for out number 2. So a couple of quick outs here in the bottom of the 6th for Ryan Johnston. It'll be Matt McIntyre, the first baseman, coming to the plate now for the Stallions. He's 1 for 2 today, struck out looking in his last at-bat in the bottom of the 4th.
McIntyre coming into this game batting at .275.
He pops this one up to the right side. Bernardo is going to have a tough play, but makes it. So a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 6th for Ryan Johnston. We're 2/3 of the way through here from Cantine Field. Stallions leading at 5-2. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Cup broadcast booth. And AJ, we were right. The final 2 innings for Jack Wren as a Stallion, it was a short run, but it was a great run for him.
Definitely an unforgettable 2 innings that Jack Wren is going to leave off on, leaving a strong note here for the Stallions. But we do have a new pitcher, number 40, Derek Constance. Derek Constance we've seen only in 2 innings so far this season. Putting his 2 innings against Amsterdam, he went 2 innings, 3 runs, 3 of those being earned, 5 hits, 4 walks, and a strikeout. Not the greatest game to start off for the Stallions, but definitely a comeback game for him today against the Glens Falls Dragons.
Yeah, he got knocked around in that one. Faced 13 batters through 2 innings, but definitely a time to bounce back for Constance. Wren leaves the game. He's now headed to Maryland the last time he'll step up here on Cantine Field. Stallions holding a 3-run lead here in the top of the 7th. Looking to keep it going, and Constance struggled in that last one, AJ, against Amsterdam. Like we mentioned, was one of the guys that came in those middle innings and just had trouble finding the zone.
It went from the first pitcher to the second pitcher to the third pitcher. Once one had trouble with consistency and location, the next did, and then the next one followed. So it was a troublesome game for the Stallions throughout Compton's first 4. He did a great job, and then we saw trouble.
But a great time to turn it around here with a 3-run lead in the top of the 7th. Now, the new pitcher, of course, Constance, is a rising freshman. He's committed to Stony Brook for next year, and he's a local guy from Kingston, New York.
Taking a look at a high school accolade he has. Again, like you said, Dan, rising freshman to Stony Brook. Looking at his high school days at Kingston, he threw a no-hitter earlier this year. Pitched 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, and only allowing 1 run.
First batter he faces will be the third baseman, Jack Griffin. Griffin so far today 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out over to short.
Griffin now going to be 4 for 22, lowering his average below a 200, struggling this season at the bat.
That one's hit over to McIntyre. He fields it. And a quick out, number 1 here in the top of the 7th.
Constance making it easy for himself, an easy quick out, one that he definitely needed after seeing 1 out go by very hard against Amsterdam.
Christian Knight, the catcher, now to the dish for the Dragons. He's 0 for 2 tonight, lined out over to Ethan Conrad and right in his last plate appearance. That was in the top of the 4th. Swings through that one, and it's 0-1.
Knight looking to get a hit tonight as well, like you said, Dan, 0 for 2, and also a 154 batting average coming into today.
Here's the 0-1. That one is ripped Rodriguez's way, and he makes a nice catch for out number 2.
Rodriguez just doing a great job at second. He's seen a countless amount of balls come to him this way today. On the fly, on the ground, turning a double play. He's been successful throughout.
So with 2 outs in the inning, it'll be the second baseman, Kyle Wu. Wu also 0 for 2 in this game. And AJ, the reason why all these Glens Falls hitters are performing so poorly, it's not like it's anything new. This team as a whole batting .227 coming into this game. And a lot of their guys 0 for 2, 0 for 1 with a walk, just really non-competitive at-bats so far.
We've had a few competitive at-bats. We saw the line out by Knight to Conrad, a few singles there and then. But we do have the same amount of hits, so it kind of questions you on what's going wrong today.
I think a lot of it, right, for Glens Falls came in that top of the first. 3 out of those 5 hits coming since then. But ever since that first inning, they've only had 2 hits now through, 4 2/3 innings?
Now seeing Manley talk to Constance, we saw a 2-0 count, probably not letting him go back into that trench again, where as a pitcher, sometimes you can't get out.
Yeah, he was in that trench against Amsterdam, really struggled in that one. Manley hoping to calm him down and avoid that here tonight. Did a nice job with his first 2 batters and is looking for the 3rd out of the inning against the second baseman, Kyle Wu. Wu batting .263 coming into this game. One of the better hitters on this Glens Falls squad. AJ, you've been there before. What's that feeling like when the ball just gets you like it did with Manley?
You're just thankful you have a mask on. It gives you a little surprise attack. Even having the mask on, it can shake you up, so a great gesture by the home plate umpire and Constance just letting him take his time.
Definitely his ears ringing. You don't really hear much after after you get hit in the mask with, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. So Manley will settle back in here. 2-1 count. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for strike 2.
Whatever Manley said to Constance, obviously making sense. Got him right back on track. 2-0, now a 2-2.
2-2 count. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Stallions leading by 3. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, he got him. First strikeout of the day for Derek Constance. He retires the first 3 batters he faces in order. We're going to keep it right here for the 7th inning stretch. Stallions leading by 3. Dan Shalom with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Hub broadcast booth. Stallions now just 6 outs away from beating the Glens Falls Dragons. Looking for a little bit of insurance here in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Justin Ford, the extra hitter, to the dish. He's 1 for 2 today. Grounds that one over to third foul. Ford yesterday against Albany, 3 for 5, had a triple which nearly cleared the wall, kicked up just on the track. Also in that game, had 2 RBIs and came around to score. So Ford finding himself here about 11 games into the Stallions season. The 0-1 to him is outside. It's 1-1. Ford was batting .320 coming into this game, keeping that average right around there with the 1 for 2 tonight. Looking to add on it here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-1 from Johnston's upstairs, and the count will be 2-1.
Great discipline by Ford there once again, letting the count be his, 2-1. Looking for a fastball here by Johnston, but with the curveball efficiency he's at, it's mostly unlikely.
The off-speed just misses there, and the count's 3-1.
Now Ford's just looking for his pitch, 3-1. A lot of green out in the field today.
Yeah, there's a big gap right now between center and right field. Ford lays off, though, and it's a leadoff walk here for the Stallions in the bottom of the 7th.
Only the second walk of the day for the Stallions today, so definitely putting up a fight at the plate today.
First leadoff walk of the game. Nate Manley digs in, the catcher. He has an RBI single, or excuse me, a 2 RBI single in this game. Struck out in his last time to the dish. That was in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch is fouled back. And you got to watch out for Ford over there at first. He's got a lot of speed. Showed it yesterday, hitting a triple, but still searching for his first stolen base of the season. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed misses down low, and it's now 1-1.
Bringing it up again, the curveball back to back, and just continues with it, finding the zone as a strike, throwing it as a ball. I'd say it's his #1 pitch.
Here's the 1-1. That one is rocked to deep left field. We'll see if it'll get out. Yeah, no, it won't. It'll be kicked up off the top of the wall. Ford gets into third. Manley to second. He's got a double here in that bottom of the 7th. And, AJ, that ball nearly gone.
So close to being gone, but adds to the hitting campaign for him today. 2 for 3, 2 singles, and 2 RBIs. A great day for Nate Manley on offense, and an even better day behind the plate.
If the Stallions go on to win this game, he's looking like your player of the game here tonight.
Doing it on both sides.
We're going to see a Dallas Hot Wieners called to the bullpen here for the Dragons. We're going to step aside. You're watching the Stallions here on the Saugerties YouTube channel. Dan Shell with you alongside AJ DiBenedetto here in the Pac Hub broadcast booth. AJ, new pitcher on here for the Dragons is Ryan Jackson.
We see the 6'1", 200-pound pitcher from St. Rose College, a redshirt freshman this past year, but taking a look at his PGCBL stats, his last appearance a little bit over a week ago. Last start, June 7th against Boonville, 2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 walks. Not an awful start for him, but on the season total, a 7.5 ERA. Looking to improve it in this start.
Ryan Johnston leaves the game, 2 innings pitched, a hit, a walk, no strikeouts. He is responsible for Manly and Ford at second and third if they are to come around to score. Rich Rodriguez, the second baseman, digging in for his third plate appearance, singled in the bottom of the 5th, and is looking to bring home a couple of runs right here. Doesn't go around there, and the count's 1-1. Rodriguez searching for RBI 6 and 7, has 5 on the year. The pitch from Jackson, that one just misses. And AJ, a little bit of switch here, righty now to lefty for the Dragons.
Something different for the Stallions, most definitely, but nothing they haven't seen before.
Here's the 2-1. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 3-1.
3-1, looking for Rodriguez's pitch. Man on second and third. Perfect opportunity to add 2 RBIs to his PGCBL campaign.
We saw Jackson pitch 2 innings against Saugerties about a couple weeks ago on June 4th. The 3-1 is missed there. It's a walk, and the bases are now loaded. As I was saying, Jackson pitched 2 innings in that one, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, also giving up 3 walks and a strikeouts. This is an arm that the Stallions are used to. Mike Cuello now at the plate. Cuello with a prime opportunity to tag on his 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th RBI of the day today. Has an RBI double in the bottom of the 2nd. And reached on a fielder's choice last time. That one's in there for a strike.
Perfect opportunity for Cuello. This could be his game. This could be the game where you start to see consistent hitting. We saw a double in the gap last time. Just looking to do it here again.
He rocks that one into deep left center field. It is going. It is off the top of the wall. Everybody is coming around to score. Holding up at third will be Rodriguez. It's the second 2 RBI double of the night for Mike Cuello.
So I'm not sure who the player of the game is. Manly, it could be Cuello, but both of these players doing an unbelievable job at the plate today, doing a job and getting runs for the Stallions in a needed moment.
And this score, too, now 7-2. That RBI double by Cuello blows this game now out of reach for the Dragons with 6 out left.
The Dragons coming into this with a team ERA of 7.83, giving up 103 hits. Now they gave up 110 hits and definitely an upped ERA after this game.
Yeah, the ERA has been right. They've given up 7 runs in this game. That one's in there for a strike. Top of the lineup here, Tyler back in a perfect time for him to get his first base knock of the season with runners at second and third. Still nobody out in this bottom of the 7th. That one's upstairs. He lays off.
Today's been a day of the hitters having some trouble at the plate, getting it done today. That's been the name of the game today, and it's been a great thing to watch because you love to see when hitters get back into the groove.
Here's the 1-1. Back swings through it. AJ, the start to the bottom of the 7th here has been odd. It went walk to Ford, then double to Manly, then walk to Rich Rodriguez, and then double to Cuello. So if it keeps going here, it should be a walk to Tyler back, and he walked in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 1-2. I jinxed it. That's a strikeout there for back. It's his 2nd of the day, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. So runners at second and third. It'll bring up the third baseman, Fritz Genther. Genther in this game is 0 for 2 and then reach on an E6 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Coming to this game, a player batting .350 with a double and a triple. 2 men on. You have Cuello on second. You have Rodriguez at third. Opportunity for another gap shot. You get 2 in and adds to his double campaign.
Genther was effective against Oneonta, went 2 for 4 in that one with a double. Had 2 stolen bases, and this season coming in batting .350. But, AJ, the one thing that stands out for you, still searching for his first RBI of the year. Couldn't be a better time to do it. First pitch to Genther's outside, and it's 1-0.
We talked about him having that triple and the double. Just no runners on at that point. Just an unfortunate series of events for him at the time. He has 2 runners on now.
That double against Oneonta, he did get brought home, so has come around to score, just himself hasn't been able to bring anybody home. 1-1's down low, and the count's now 2-0.
Knight regretting that pass ball, allowing Cuello to come home, being very diligent now behind the plate. He sees the speed on second, sees the speed on third, and knows the damage that could be done if one gets by.
1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Cuello is at second, Rodriguez at third. This one is down low, and the count's now 3-0. And you do not want to walk Genther here. A very powerful Ethan Conrad is waiting on deck.
We saw what he did last at-bat with that home run fly ball.
Just went foul. The walk there to Genther, and now the time is now for Ethan Conrad. The bases are juiced. There's 1 out. Nobody else you want up in this situation but number 23.
Dan, before this inning, we saw 2 total walks. This inning by itself, 3.
Conrad nearly had a home run in his last at-bat, ended up flying out to left field. The ball was smoked to right field, about 5 feet to the right of the 330 sign, out there in right. So Conrad nearly with a home run in this game, searching for his first grand slam of the year. Here's the 1-0. That one is outside. And it seems like Jackson not really even attacking right here, not wanting to give Conrad anything to hit.
Even being in that lefty-lefty advantage, it doesn't matter what side you throw the ball on. Ethan Conrad is ready to hit it.
Here's the 2-0. That one is smoked into left center field. It will get down. Cuello is coming around to score. The Stallions plate 2 more, and they're up by 7 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Taking it the other way, we saw him do that in his last at-bat with the fly out to left. I would more call that a line out. That was smoked his last at-bat, and taking it the other way again. He's not scared to poke the ball around where it needs to go.
Just doing a job as well. We saw 3 singles yesterday against Albany with 2 RBIs. Now matches it with a 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 7th. Byram Hott will look to keep it going. Runners still at first and second here with 1 out. Hott today is 0 for 3, searching for his first hit.
Even though we saw Hott go 4 for 6 yesterday, only accumulated 1 RBI, looking to get 1, 2 more right now.
That one's upstairs. And you know, with Conrad's speed over there at third, a ball hit into the gap, and he is most likely scoring. Genther is at second. Conrad is at first. It's a 9-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. Stallions blowing this game wide open. Coming into this inning, they were only up by 3. Now they're up by 7.
Dan, taking a look at the first matchup here at Saugerties, it was an 8-1 win against Glens Falls. Now it's 9-2, an 8-run lead as well. So the Stallions taking an immense amount lead. First game, second game, and then we go to Glens Falls tomorrow.
Yeah, Stallions play against Glens Falls tomorrow, then host Boonville here on Monday. Take a trip out to Oneonta on Tuesday before a home-and-home with Amsterdam on Wednesday and Thursday. The first part of that being at Cantine Field, and then the Stallions' first trip to Shuttleworth Park on Thursday night. Here's the 3-1. That one's upstairs. And the bases are now loaded once again here for Saugerties in the bottom of the 7th.
Dan, 3 walks, now 4. More than we've seen throughout the first 7 innings of this game.
It'll be Ryan Resio at the plate. Resio 0 for 2 today, but has reached on a hit by pitch. in the bottom of the second. Looking for his first hit of the day. Went 0 for 3 against Oneonta on Wednesday night, but also with a walk. Has great plate discipline. Lays off the first pitch he sees, and it's 1-0.
Ryan Resio, a high 200 hitter, 280, 2 doubles.
And Glens Falls is going to want to talk this one over once again. And it seems like we could be seeing another Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen.
Taking a look out at the right field, Glens Falls does have someone in the bullpen ready to go unless Ryan Jackson can close out these next 2 outs without a problem.
We'll see what the coach decides here. Nothing just yet. Stallions blowing this game wide open in the bottom of the 7th, plating 4, and they still have the bases juiced. So they're going to leave Jackson out there. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Now, Ryan Johnston's final line, AJ, those 2 runs did come around to score, so 2 innings pitched, a hit, 2 earned, and a walk.
Similar to his last outing against Stallions.
Gave up 3 in that one. Walked forward and then allowed a double to Manley to start this inning. Both of those guys have scored now. Ball 2 right there to Resio. And A.J. Resio's a guy that is not going to swing unless it's a good pitch.
No, he's a very disciplined batter. Batting a 280 coming into this game. He has 2 doubles. Bases loaded. Another double with Byram hot on first. You're getting 3.
That'd be 3 on the year. He's hoping for it right here in the 2-0 count. Pitches upstairs, and now it's 3-0. And Jackson at risk of walking home a batter here in the bottom of the 7th. And AJ, you know what looms large here in the bottom of the 7th? That the Stallions plate 2, plate 3, this game's over.
Stallions looking to just get more runs on the board just to add to their RBIs for the full season.
Resio takes. It's in there for strike 1. It's a 9-2 game, but in the PGCBL, if you're up by 10 after 7, the game is over. So an opportunity for the Stallions to close things down early. That one's upstairs, and a run will walk home. Genther will score. Resio is over there to first, and now the Stallions just 2 runs away from closing out this game. And now there'll be a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen here for Glens Falls.
A rough day for Ryan Jackson. 5 walks. And in those 5 walks, he gave up a 3-0 count to Prince Genther, Ethan Conrad, and Ryan Resio.
He allows 3 runs to score and is responsible for Hot, Conrad, and Resio over there at first. We're going to take a break. Stay right with us. Stallions threatening to end this game. So, AJ, a new pitcher into the game here for Glens Falls. It's number 33, Michael Weed. Now, we've seen Glens Falls throw out number 31, number 32, and now number 33.
The 6'1 freshman out of the College of St. Rose, another St. Rose product. He weighs about 170, throws on the right side. But let's take a look at his last game. A little bit more than a week ago, he faced Amsterdam. Only went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 earned runs, allowing 4 hits, 3 walks, and striking out 2. But looking at the overall bigger picture, Dan, struggle. Appearing in 3 games, a 24.54 ERA.
That's through 3 and 2/3
and only
innings.
3 and 2/3 innings.
He's given up 10 runs so far in all of his outings. Definitely not the guy that you want in right now if you're a Dragons fan. McIntyre can end this game, AJ, with the ball to the outfield.
McIntyre just looking to get another hit to his resume. We saw in the second inning, a single. Then we go to the third, a strikeout. Fourth, a strikeout. Sixth, a fly out to first. He has bases loaded, and with his power, anything is possible in this at-bat.
2 runs ends this game. First pitch from Weed, upstairs for a ball.
And Dan, if McIntyre gets on base, it brings up Ford for his second at-bat of the inning.
Yeah, Stallions would bat around here if McIntyre is walked. Here's the 1-0. He fouls that one back, and the count's 1-1. A beautiful night here at Cantine Field. Stallions looking for their 3rd straight win against Glens Falls for the first time since last season. Here's the 1-1. McIntyre lines that one to second base. Wu tosses to Modi, fumbles the ball. And now Resio is safe over there. That was a perfect escape for the inning for Glens Falls. It was a tailor-made double play, but they couldn't turn it.
That was a double play, like you said. Wu just miscommunication, a drop at short, a whole mishap play.
And now it brings Justin Ford to the dish for his second at-bat of the inning. The Stallions have now batted around in this bottom of the 7th. 1 out, bases are loaded. The next run to score could end this one, unless the Dragons can find 2 outs while the Stallions have the bases juiced.
Another great opportunity for Ford. We saw him get walked in his first at-bat this inning. Let's see what he can do here.
Here's the 0-1. That one's down low. Nearly got past Knight. He does a nice job blocking. 1-1, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Stallions 1 run away from ending this game and earning their 2nd win of the season over Glens Falls. They'll travel up to the Dragons tomorrow night in the second part of a home-and-home. And then they'll be right back here on Monday to face Boonville, who they beat 20-3 in the 2nd game of the season. Here's the 1-1. That one is in there for strike 2.
Dan, if you're getting yourself in the mind of the Glens Falls Dragons, it keeps you an idea of they got to save some arms for tomorrow. They're facing the Stallions once again. They're using 4 arms today now.
Ford hits that one to third, and Hott will score to win the game for the Stallions. So Ford walks it off. The Stallions win this one 12-2, and they improve to 9-2-1 on the season.
Dan, the exact game the Stallions needed. We saw a rough 3-game stretch, a win, a loss, a tie, getting right back on track to Saugerties baseball with another win, and we see them again tomorrow with great optimism going into a nice Sunday day of baseball.
It'll be a fun night up in Glens Falls. The Stallions will travel up to the Dragons tomorrow. We'll have that one here for you on the Stallions YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. For Dan Shalom and AJ DiBenedetto, we'll see you tomorrow night.